Hello anybody and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode we did the summertime portion of Click Clock Wood, and in today's episode we are going into the windy leaf field version of the autumn version of Click Clock Wood, and Eerie will talk to us.
Get Eerie more caterpillars. Turn this time.
So he needs 10 caterpillars and can't turn around and grab the one right behind him. So now that we come into the fall version of course, Click Clock Wood, everything is massive. These bear snares are huge, there are huge piles of leaves, and of course you want to climb every one of them, which actually makes it a little bit easier to climb up to the ring around the tree. But you definitely want to explore and be careful. So there are leaves everywhere, and everything kind of has this weird red coloration, and actually really, I think it's really aesthetically pleasing. And for people who don't have autumn, in the sense of this time of year, I feel bad for you, because it is a very pretty time of year, and actually I think the weather is really nice. Now, the thing about autumn is, it is by far I wouldn't even know if I would say by far, but it is the hardest portion of this world of Click Clock Wood, because the enemies are huge, these little leaves up the thing are smaller because it's of course autumn and the leaves are dying and they're all falling. The monsters are huge, and again, I don't know if that's accurate. See, these guys are massive now. And what's particularly peculiar about the autumn version of this world is it has the most notes in the entire world. It has 48 of the 100 notes, so you'll be here a little while at least, and if you're gonna miss a note in this world, it's probably gonna be in here somewhere. Of course, now that it's autumn time, the water has refilled around the ring, but we're gonna be going down there in a minute and not quite yet. You might remember when we were here in the summertime, we helped Naughty, which was a beaver, back into his house. Sort of, kind of. And Naughty, of course, was a guy. He was a dude. And what made him special is that he's a beaver. And you might be wondering what's so special about that. And where I'm going with this thought is Naughty is actually an enemy from the Donkey Kong Country series, who I guess makes a cameo here. But now that the water is filled up, we can actually swim into his home. And this is actually kind of an easy jiggy to forget about, which I'm not going to be forgetting about here, like I forgot about the jiggy that you get from Snorkel in Rusty Bucket Bay. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, here you are, at last. I've been waiting months to give you this.
And we're gonna get these notes and kind of ignore this jiggy, and we're gonna take our reward for helping him. We will never see Naughty again. We will see him again, just not for a little bit. So we're gonna be jumping back into the water and swimming down into the lake, the big lake around here. Autumn is a very busy season in here, and it is kind of reflective of real life, where when September rolls around, life gets busy, especially if you're still in school, and there's like work to do, and everybody's going back to work, and whatever. Anyway, as you can see, I am kind of running really low on gold feathers, as I am out of them. You want to conserve your golden feathers like I failed to do for this section of the world, and we want to peck Big Butt because he is here all year. Has he gotten bigger too? I can't even tell. So anyway, we're gonna come here, and we have this plant, and Gobi is still hanging around for some reason. I like how he used to be our friend, we helped him, he congratulated us, but we hurt him so many times, and we do it again for the last time, and it will grow the flower to its maximal size. It will bloom into a glorious thing with stigmas and petals and jiggy.
Right, that's it. I'm off to the lava world. You'll never find me there.
There is no lava world in this game. There is areas with lava, mostly in Gruntilda's lair, but as far as lava worlds go, that's actually a teaser for the next game. Actually, curiously, they did have a lava world planned for this world, but they did not. They decided it was not adequate as it was, so they saved it for Banjo-Tooie and added a lot more to it. But again, that is just kind of some interesting stuff behind the development. So we're gonna keep going around this tree, and of course the brambles are still there, and we should visit our old friend Mumbo, see what he's up to at this time of year. Maybe we can get a fall time transformation. Maybe we can turn into like a leaf or something, or maybe we can fall down into the water. Coming around this way, we're gonna grab that note. That is a pretty hard jump to make, so you're better off like I'm not even sure. I always fall on that jump, so I'm not sure what the best way to do that is. This one, you just kind of want to fall, let yourself kind of fall and pick it up. As you can see, they also have, you may have remembered, we need 10 more caterpillars to feed our friend Eerie the Eagle. We needed 5 in the summer, but they just did not have as many that time around. Also, the shock jump pad is replaced by boots again. I'm not sure why. Those might be the last pair of boots in the game. Or maybe not. And there's a caterpillar in here.
Mumbo busy, sweep many leaves. No magic today.
Ah, so no magic for us because all of the leaves somehow swept inside of his house. I have no idea how he managed that. Of course, you do need to come in here in the autumn time if you want to get all the notes in this world because, well, there were 4 up in his house. Or however many there were. I think it was 4. I can't count. Or rather, I don't pay attention when I should be paying attention. Duh. Anyway, we've taken care of that. We've gotten those notes. And I think we've pretty much cleared out everything around the perimeter of the level, which means we'll be about ready to start climbing it. Oh boy! Well, first we want to get the rest of the notes, and now that we've come full circle around the tree back to the entrance of the level, we are about ready to start climbing it. I think we already got the notes on top of that bear snare, which is huge, and we'll come up here. Now you might be wondering, because I keep saying that this is the hardest section in the world. Also, this is why you want to come over here in the summertime when the leaves are big, and not when the leaves are small, but we're going to get that Mumbo token anyway. You might be remembering what I was saying in the, what I was saying a few times already, that autumn is the hardest section of this world. And you might be wondering, what about winter? Well, winter will be its own thing that we will have to deal with. But not yet. We will see that when we see that. But it is, I do feel very much so like that is the case. Now, I do like Click Clock Wood. I really do. I think it's a fun level. I think it does its design well for the most part. But I do think that its size is kind of a disadvantage, particularly in the N64 version of the game, where one death can set you back a significant ways. And even in this version of the game, where you're not entirely sure what gets reset and what doesn't get reset when you die. Mainly I think it's just the caterpillars, but I could be wrong about that. Also be very careful around these guys so you don't get knocked off. But yeah, I think that this is kind of a disadvantage of this world, is that it's just, I think it's too big. Maybe I appreciate what they were going for with the scale, but it just, I like the other worlds more. I like Rusty Bucket Bay and Mad Munster Mansion more. So we come around here in the Beehive, which has been now.
Nothing in here for you now, Bear. We've all moved out.
So the bee is like, we've all moved out, aside from this one. I have tried a few times to actually kill that Zubba, because I'm a terrible person apparently, but I've never found out if you can. Somebody tell me if you can, if you know if you can get that Zubba, because he never flies down in your range. But you do, again, want to go in there to get those notes. That's kind of the theme of Autumn, is you want to re-explore the old areas for mainly bonus dialogue and then some notes that appeared, because Autumn is filled with notes. Apparently, autumn is the most musical time of the year. Take that as you will. So now that we've done all that, you'll notice that the treehouse is now complete. And let me just check up on the roof, and no. We are going to be checking around the backside, though. And there was a Jiggy, in fact, in this treehouse in the last episode, but that's only in the summertime when it's hard to get, and not when it's easy to get, I think. There's a lot I don't necessarily remember about this world because I've always done it in a given way, or at least usually in a given way, and I can't remember certain details about it. Anyway, we have 20 Mumbo tokens again. We don't need them, that's kind of funny. Although there are only 10 Mumbo tokens left in the entire game. And no, you don't get anything for collecting the rest of the Mumbo tokens. I think that's how you get a certain Easter egg in this game with Mumbo. Very rarely, and I'm going to talk about this now because I'm not going to see it myself. Very rarely, well, I'll talk about it after I talk to Nabnut.
Hi there, Bear Buddy. I need 6 more acorns before winter comes. Have you seen any?
Unfortunately for you, winter is coming. And I can't say that because I don't actually watch Game of Thrones, so I'm a plebe. Anyway, as you can see, he's looking for acorns, and I say looking with the biggest air quotes because he's just standing in place when there are acorns not very far from him. And we come in here, and there's an acorn down here, and these acorns just have the saddest eyes in the world. The acorns are not at all far from Nabnut. It is definitely in the proximity of this area. The main tip for figuring out is Well, I didn't mean to throw that one to him yet.
Nabnut hasn't gotten enough acorns yet. Keep looking.
Basically, all of the acorns, there are no acorns past that point or down this way, so they're all kind of contained in this area. So there are two that are kind of in this weird setup that I don't really like, this kind of floating in the air nonsense. It feels too much like a ROM hack rather than an actual game design. I'm fussy about that. God dang it. Now I have to go up and get that other one again. I don't even know. Actually, I'm not going to cut that because that's like instantaneous. So let's see if I can't make this jump again. This is very dangerous, but damn it! There we go. That was definitely worth the damage, even though it kind of wasn't really. Now this acorn, this last acorn, I think it is the last acorn, is kind of, except it's not the last acorn. That one is very easy to miss because you come around this way and you can't really see the platform. But you do have to look around to find it. So we're going to throw these other acorns to him, and we have to, of course, animate us throwing every single one. Banjo-Tooie did fix this.
Nabnut hasn't gotten enough acorns yet. Keep looking.
So, where could the last acorn be? Surely Nabnut wouldn't have the last acorn already sitting inside of his house. That would be oh, here it is. That would be absolutely asinine, wouldn't it? Yet here it is, and yet we're gonna give it to him so we can take it back into his house and put it on the same shelf.
Yippee, that's all the acorns I need. Here, take this. I'll see you in spring.
Bye, Nabnut. So we're up to 7 Jiggies, so we're almost done with this world, and it's pretty cool, I guess. All that we have left, and actually, let me see if I can't remember off the top of my head which Jiggies we need. Oh god. Oh god, and we're falling. We're falling. Ow. And that, my friends, is why you keep your health high in this world. Because at any time, these guys can just come out of nowhere and kill the hell out of you. Now, the best way to really deal with these guys is to bait them into clicking once, and then since they're hard to hit, when they start doing their extended attack, that is when you hit them. Anyway, we found our button for the final door in the world, which is wintertime. Of course, wintertime. It is very high up this thing, but I digress. We come up to Eerie, who of course we need to feed all of these caterpillars, and we need to animate all 10 of them. So, yay! As I said before, Banjo-Tooie kind of fixes this issue for whenever you have to give anybody a certain number of collectibles, you just kind of throw them all in one lump, I think. I think it mostly does that. It might have a couple exceptions or two. And of course, this baby eagle, now that we've fed him all those caterpillars, has grown huge. But he's still not an adult eagle.
Thank you, Bear. I will soon be Big Bird.
Must have sleep first.
And his voice is changing because I can't stay consistent. I am the worst. Well, we're almost done with Eerie anyway, even though he's absolutely huge and terrifying. And now that we've gotten all of those notes, yes, we are perfectly on track for getting the last notes in the game. We have 84 notes now. That is how many notes you want to have by the end of autumn, and that will actually take care of that. And we're almost done with this season. We're very close to being done. There's only one Jiggy left for us to get, and it's not up here. It is in fact down in an old place. And of course, as per usual, if you go into the main side, inside of the tree, there's nothing in there yet again. So we're gonna jump out of there, even though we don't need that, and we kinda wanna figure out where we are, because we wanna jump down to the beehive, and this actually makes it worth it to go up that high, because if you jump down to the beehive, and then jump down to here, and on top of this, this is the flower Jiggy. And with that Jiggy, we're up to 8. So that only leaves 2 Jiggies left to get. Now that I've taken care of that, I could reasonably go and do the rest of this world winter, and probably only have this episode be about 20-something minutes, but I'm not gonna do that. You might be wondering, Mr. Davius, what are you talking about? Don't be stupid. And I'm not being stupid, I'm figuring out what I'm doing. What I am planning to do for this, actually now, is I'm gonna be doing wintertime in the next episode, and winter isn't very big. It's kind of an epilogue to Click Clockwood, if you would. It's kind of, there's not very much in it. It's kind of desolate and dead, kind of like winter itself. So we are going to be taking care of that in the next one, but since there's not so much, I'll also be covering some of the bonus stuff in this game, or at least some of the side stuff that is just kind of there. So that'll beef up that episode a little bit. But anyway, I digress. If you want to see Winter and the end of Click Clock Wood, the biggest world in the game, then I just hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!